Hello there, it's me, Romulus, and this is kind of an unscripted video. I don't really have any script written or even specific talking points. I just kind of have my thoughts that have been floating around in my head for the last few days. So, Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It recently got an overview trailer, which is what you're watching right now, showing off a bunch of new stuff about the game. And I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I have a lot. I don't know. I'm very conflicted and I'm very confused. Let me start with the good stuff because there's a lot of good stuff here. First off, Retro Studios knows how to make a game look incredibly pretty. This game is absolutely gorgeous. The environments you can see it here on the screen. The environments look incredible. Each area it looks really interesting. The reviewers have talked about like the psychic abilities being kind of basic. I watched it. It looks basic, but it looks like I don't know. It looks cool. It just looks cool. The enemy designs just look really incredible. Boss fights look fun. That one boss fight against like the flower monster with the tail. Want to say it was Carvex or something like that in the trailer. I can't exactly remember its name. That looked sick as hell. That looked awesome. Oh my god. I was super excited to play against that. But I do have an issue, and it's the big issue. It's what everybody's been talking about, and that is this NPC. So there are NPCs in this game, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That can be good, okay? Take Metroid Prime 3, for example. It had a ton of NPCs, probably the most in any Metroid game so far, and I think it handled it very well. Even like Dread has NPCs. It has that old guy. I cannot for the life of me remember his name, but he is an NPC who talks extensively. He gives you this whole backstory, and it's incredible. It's very well done. Then you've got I don't know. That's kind of it. um, but yeah, there's not a whole ton of NPCs in Metroid games. Generally, you are kind of alone in this adventure. Having NPCs is not a bad thing, okay? Fleshing out the world, giving a bit more life to it, that's cool. Very cool. Good on Metroid for doing that, you know? This NPC, it doesn't really do that. He's kind of just there to make jokes all the time. I'm sure you've seen him. Okay, I'm sure you've seen Miles McKenzie, this Poindexter kind of character who's just this gigantic nerd, um, who's this bumbling idiot who kind of just talks about nothing of particular importance. Um, Man, it is just it's so terrible. It is I don't know. I just don't know, man. Generally, I am not the type of person to say, well, let's judge a game before it's even come out. Um, I'm not that person. Um, a lot of people were saying, oh, Paper Mario the Origami King, it's gonna be bad. I was one of the people who was saying, let's wait for it to come out. Let's see what it's like. Let's give it a fair shot. I'm willing to try stuff. Um, there are certain things, though, that I will see in a video game, and I will go, I know I'm not gonna like that. And Miles is one of those things. He has very, I would describe it as Marvel humor. He's very marvelly. He's very annoying. He's very stupid. And he just kind of generally makes your life more inconvenient. And I can look at him and I can tell. I can watch his dialogue and I can see his scenes, and I can go, yeah, that's not going to be it. I'm not going to like that. I'm generally, like I said before, I'm generally a very open-minded person when it comes to video games. This is not one of those scenarios. The Metroid series is no stranger to experimentation and trying new things. You know, Prime 1, it was kind of like, well, let's try it in 3D now. Let's try Metroid in 3D, you know? And it worked out. It worked out really well. Prime 2, it's like, let's try out like ammunition this time. Let's try out like having laser ammo. You know, not bad. Not a bad concept. Prime 3, it was like, let's try out having more NPCs and fleshing out this world. Not bad. It worked. It worked. Then you have like, you know, the Prime trilogy on the DS and 3DS, and it's like, well, let's try with Metroid Prime Hunters. It's like, let's try, you know, a stylus control scheme. And now, granted, I will specify, I have played every Metroid game, and it is my favorite franchise of all time. I don't get a chance to talk about it a lot. Generally, I talk about Mario because there's just not a lot of Metroid news coming out. But when there is, I'm not going to miss an opportunity to talk about it. And the only 3 Metroid games that I have not played are the Prime trilogy on handhelds. Prime Hunters, Pinball, and Federation Force. And as far as I'm aware, Prime Hunters had a pretty good control scheme. It worked. I've tried it myself a little bit. I've never beaten the game, but I have tried the game, and it works. It's an interesting setup. Then you got Prime Pinball, where the whole concept is, let's just remake the first game, but as a pinball game. Very, very out of left field concept. But I've heard good things. I've never played it. I've never even tried the game. I want to, but I've never tried it. And from what I've heard, it worked. And then you've got Federation Force, and it's like, well, let's try a game where you don't even play as Samus, you play as someone else. And I've heard not great things about that. I've heard it's an average game. It's average. It's mediocre at best. So you've got this whole series, this whole sub-series that has constantly experimented and tried new things. So we're going forward with an experimentation. I don't think an 8-year gap between games is the time to experiment. I just don't think it's the time. You look through like posts on, you know, social media, and it's Nintendo, and they're posting about hiring, or Retro Studios, and they're posting about hiring all these new people. And I mean, these big AAA developers are coming in to work on this game. Y'all do not need to be experimenting with a franchise you've never even worked on to begin with. It's baffling to me that they are trying something that Metroid has never done before when they've never even done Metroid before. This is brand new territory for them. It's not Halo, it's not Call of Duty, it's Metroid. You can't make Halo into Metroid, just like you can't make Metroid into Halo. It's not how it works. You can't make Mario into Metroid. Just because they're both 2D platformers doesn't mean you can make one into the other, and vice versa. And just because Metroid Prime is a first-person shooter, just like Halo, and just like Call of Duty, doesn't mean you can just make these into those games. You have to know the territory. And I'm not saying, you know, Halo has characters with quippy dialogue or whatever. You know, that the writing in Halo, it's good. At least the games I've played. I'm not a big Halo fan. I've only played the first, like, 3 games or whatever, okay? So, from what I've heard, the good ones, okay? They're good games. They're very good. I'm not trying to discredit the quality of these other games. I'm just saying, if you're working on a new franchise, you have to understand the bearings. You have to understand the foundation that the series is. I mean, it's sitting on this foundation. This is the whole premise of the game. And in Metroid, the whole foundation, everything, is atmosphere. That is the game. It's been said before. I'm not saying anything new in my video. I'm just ranting. I just need a place to scream, okay? I just need a place to yell into the void. Metroid is all atmosphere. So when you go through and you make a character who is there to relieve this tension, who's there to make jokes, you're not gonna have a very good atmosphere. I'm sorry, you're just not. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Like I said before, I hate to be all doom and gloom about this situation, but there is just not a world where I can imagine that I will enjoy the game as much as I was expecting to with this kind of inclusion, with Miles McKenzie included in the game. I just don't see it happening. I mean, I probably will still enjoy the game. Everything else looks great, but I don't think I'll enjoy it as much as I was expecting to enjoy it. My big question is, why is he even here in the first place? You have to remember, like 4 years into its development, Prime 4 was completely scrapped. Every single thing about its development was restarted from the beginning, and the whole game was handed over to Retro Studios. So you have to wonder, was this dude included in the most recent version of the game? Or is he a carryover from the bad one? Because if he's not in the bad one, how bad was the bad one? Metroid. The Metroid franchise is my favorite franchise of all time. I love it. I love it. My top 3 games of all time consistently have been Metroid Dread, Metroid Zero Mission, and Metroid Prime Remastered. Ever since Metroid Prime Remastered came out, that has been my top 3 favorite games of all time. I love those games, and I love Metroid. Yeah, I even like Other M. I'm gonna say it. I like Other M. I like it. It's the first Metroid game I ever played. I have a very fond, nostalgic view towards it. I like it. The writing in that game is bad. I like the game. I'm able to recognize that the writing in Other M is bad. This is worse than that. It's just so disappointing. It's so sad. I was not a Metroid fan 8 years ago when Prime 4 was announced. So I have not been waiting this 8-year period for this game. I have not been anticipating it for 8 years. I've not been on the edge of my seat waiting. When they announced that they were restarting development, I still wasn't a fan of the series. I hadn't even played most of the games. I only recently got into it during Dread. During the life cycle of Metroid Dread. Right before that game came out, I decided to play through every game and found out I loved them. And then I bought Dread. I don't know why. I don't know what hit me, but I said, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Turns out, favorite franchise of all time. Love it. So I can't really say I'm invested in Prime 4 like other people are. There are people who have been waiting 8 years for this game to come out. I mean, they have been stoked for this game, and I am so sad for those people who will not get the game that they have been wanting. I mean, I can't even imagine waiting 8 years for this game and then getting this kind of disappointing announcement. I don't know, man. I'm sad. I want Prime 4 to be good. I want it to be good. And, you know, I still think it will be. Every single thing. Even the bike. I was like, yeah, I'm on board for the bike. Bike looks cool. bike looks cool as hell. Absolutely. Everything. And then this. And it's just like, man, why? Why would they want to include this man? And then there's 6 other dudes who are all NPCs who all talk to you and who join you. And then Miles McKenzie sets up base. Like I said, nothing I'm saying here is new. It's all, I mean, you've heard this before. This is a bad addition to the game. This is a stupid addition. I don't understand this addition. You would be right that it is stupid. I don't really have much else to say about this game. I don't want to go on and on for forever and ever and ever. I recommend that you try the game out for yourself and, see how you feel about it. And, give it a fair shot. That's what I want. I want to give it a fair shot. But I don't imagine I will like it. At least not as much as I had hoped I would. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. You have a good one.